Welcome to our Literature Lessons series, where we dive deep into the lives of great authors and explore the literary masterpieces they created. Today's lesson focuses on one of the most legendary figures in literature, Arthur Conan Doyle, and his iconic creation, Sherlock Holmes. We'll unravel the story behind Holmes and examine the detective's lasting impact on the genre. So, join us as we journey through the fascinating world of Sherlock Holmes and the art of detective fiction. Arthur Conan Doyle, a prominent British writer and physician, was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, in 1859. Known primarily for creating Sherlock Holmes, Doyle's journey as a writer began while he was studying medicine at the University of Edinburgh. Here, he met Dr. Joseph Bell, a mentor whose remarkable deductive reasoning skills would inspire the process that Holmes is famously known for. Doyle's literary career flourished as he penned 4 novels and 56 short stories featuring the brilliant detective, including the renowned works like A Study in Scarlet, The Sign of the Four, The Hound of the Baskervilles, and The Valley of Fear. Throughout his writing, Doyle was celebrated for his logical plots, memorable characters, and vivid depictions of Victorian London, creating an immersive experience for readers. Sherlock Holmes's adventures not only captivated the imaginations of readers in Doyle's time, but they also established the foundational conventions of modern detective fiction that still persist today. One of the most remarkable aspects of Sherlock Holmes is his unique method of deduction. This method encompasses careful observation, logical reasoning, and meticulous attention to detail. Holmes has an extraordinary ability to notice small details that often elude others. For example, by examining a person's attire or the condition of various items in their environment, he can make deductions about their circumstances and character. Through his logical reasoning, he constructs a chain of evidence that leads to the resolution of a mystery. Holmes's famous quote illustrates this: "When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth." His analytical approach to problem solving was groundbreaking at the time and laid the groundwork for later developments in forensic science and investigative techniques. This emphasis on deduction and scientific observation distinguishes Holmes as an archetype for subsequent fictional detectives, influencing characters from Hercule Poirot to Columbo. Another key figure in the Sherlock Holmes stories is Dr. John Watson, Holmes's loyal friend and collaborator, serving not only as a companion but also as the narrator for most of the adventures. A former army surgeon who served in the Afghan War, Watson is practical and grounded, effectively balancing Holmes's intellectual eccentricities. Their contrasting personalities create a dynamic relationship. While Holmes is brilliant and often aloof in his obsessions, Watson provides a relatable perspective for readers and ensures that the stories feel accessible. Through Watson's descriptions, we learn about Holmes's extraordinary deductive techniques and occasionally glimpse his vulnerable side. Their friendship becomes a defining feature of the stories, establishing an enduring convention in fictional narratives. The residence of Holmes and Watson at 221B, Baker Street has also become a cultural landmark. Although 221B, Baker Street didn't exist during Doyle's time, the address has since been preserved as a symbol of Holmes's world. The apartment, where many pivotal moments in the stories occur, represents the heart of Holmes's logical investigation and serves as a backdrop to the tension and intrigue of his cases. Today, 221B, Baker Street is famously a tourist attraction, housing the Sherlock Holmes Museum, where fans and literary enthusiasts can experience the atmosphere that inspired many of Doyle's most engaging narratives. This location symbolizes the melding of intellect and curiosity, which defines the world of Sherlock Holmes. If you've ever wondered about the most popular of all Holmes's stories, look no further than The Hound of the Baskervilles. Published in 1902, this novel masterfully blends Gothic themes with deductive reasoning. The plot centers around Sir Henry Baskerville, the last heir of the Baskerville estate, who is threatened by a legendary supernatural creature, a monstrous hound that haunts his lineage. Holmes's investigation allows readers to traverse the desolate landscapes of Dartmoor while contemplating themes of fear, superstition, and the confrontation between the unexplained and rational thought. This novel exemplifies how Holmes skillfully unravels the threads of legend and reality, ultimately revealing the true villain. Its vivid atmospheric descriptions and suspenseful progression have ensured The Hound of the Baskervilles remains one of the most celebrated installments in the Holmes canon, with countless adaptations across various media. Now, it's fascinating to note that Conan Doyle once tried to kill off Sherlock Holmes in a story titled The Final Problem. This 1893 narrative presents a climactic encounter between Holmes and his nemesis, Professor Moriarty. In this tale, both characters plunge to their presumed deaths at the Reichenbach Falls in Switzerland. Doyle felt tired of writing Holmes and yearned to explore new creative avenues, but the public response was overwhelming. Readers were devastated and demanded the return of their beloved detective. In fact, 20,000 readers cancelled subscriptions to the Strand magazine, forcing Doyle to resurrect Holmes in The Adventure of the Empty House, published in 1903. This return was celebrated with great enthusiasm, illustrating the profound connection readers had developed with the character and solidifying Holmes's status in popular culture. Beside the world of crime and deduction, Conan Doyle also had a penchant for sports, particularly cricket, which he enjoyed playing for many years. Additionally, he harbored a deep interest in spiritualism, writing about the subject extensively, a stark contrast to the rationality that defines his Holmes stories. This diverse range of interests speaks to the complexity of Conan Doyle's character as a prolific writer. Now, let's delve into the iconic relationship between Sherlock Holmes and his archenemy, Professor James Moriarty. Known as the Napoleon of crime, Moriarty is not only a criminal mastermind but also a mathematical genius. Despite having limited appearances in Doyle's stories, Moriarty embodies both respect and animosity towards Holmes, recognizing him as his greatest adversary. Their climactic encounter in The Final Problem underscores a duality. Moriarty represents the dark side of intellect and ambition, serving as a foil to Holmes, whose genius serves justice. The character of Moriarty has become archetypal for villains across all literary genres, influencing countless future portrayals in both literature and film. Beyond the detective genre, Arthur Conan Doyle's writing left an indelible mark on literature as a whole. By establishing many conventions that have become standard in detective fiction, such as the brilliant detective, the loyal companion, deduction methods, and the engaging short story format, Doyle significantly shaped how future detective narratives would unfold. His influence is palpable in the works of esteemed authors, from Agatha Christie to Raymond Chandler, all of whom acknowledged their debt to Holmes and his innovative approach to storytelling. The impact Conan Doyle made in creating the character of Sherlock Holmes transcends time. In addition to the detective stories, Doyle also published a plethora of other literary works, including historical novels like The White Company and Sir Nigel, as well as science fiction, like The Lost World featuring Professor Challenger. These diverse creations demonstrate his vast literary range, providing a glimpse into a mind that continually sought to explore new avenues of creativity beyond the detective genre. His works remind us that although he remains widely known for Sherlock Holmes, his contributions to literature extend much further. Finally, the legacy of Arthur Conan Doyle in world literature is considerable. Commonly regarded as the father of detective fiction, his portrayal of Sherlock Holmes has inspired innumerable fictional detectives through the ages. Holmes's reasoning style and character traits can be easily identified in modern-day detectives in literature and media. Doyle's stories are translated into many languages and adapted across a multitude of platforms, captivating millions worldwide. The profound influence and cultural significance of Sherlock Holmes endure, as does Conan Doyle's role as a versatile author who played with various literary genres. His legacy is not simply that of entertaining stories, it is also about how he championed the ideals of logic, justice, and intellectual triumph over chaos and darkness. To recap our exploration of Arthur Conan Doyle and his literary masterpiece, Sherlock Holmes, we uncovered the origins of Holmes's methodical approach to deduction, the enduring friendship between Holmes and Dr. Watson, and the significance of 221B, Baker Street as the heart of their adventures. We examined the Hound of the Baskervilles and delved into the relationship between Holmes and Moriarty, acknowledging Doyle's lasting influence on the detective fiction genre and the breadth of his other literary contributions. Overall, Doyle's legacy as a writer continues to enchant and inform readers, reminding us of the power of observation, reason, and creativity in storytelling. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of Arthur Conan Doyle and Sherlock Holmes. We hope you found this lesson inspiring and thought-provoking, as we've celebrated not only the art of detective fiction but also the impact of a remarkable writer on literature as a whole. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll uncover more literary treasures. Until then, keep reading and exploring the fascinating worlds that authors create for us.